This is an educational example based on my personal approach. Results vary widely, and nothing here guarantees profit or future performance. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trading with Ashley show and happy President's Day. I know that the markets are closed today, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to try to help share with you what I am doing to adapt my trading style in this very unique market set of situations. So, here's what we're dealing with. And if you've been in the market for any length of time, you've dealt with these before. So, I thought I would go over them with you. When we're seeing higher volatility right now, we have volatility spikes. Usually it lasts a day or two and then it subsides a little, and then we see a headline come out and it pops up again. So it's really challenging to trade these markets right now with that up and down dynamic with the volatility. We're also seeing sector rotation. And so you have to be more creative when you're looking for potential trade setups, because you can't always turn to the trades that we have looked at before, because quite frankly, those are in a downward trend and that may not be the best opportunity, maybe overweight in those stocks anyway. So when we're in this dynamic, there's a few things you can do. The most passive thing to do and the most conservative thing to do is just simply cash up, get your cash allocation put together. You usually want to be somewhere at around 30% if you're fearful of a market correction, so that you can take full advantage of that. You could also go into some blended funds. You could look at treasury bills. You could look at SGUP. You could look at a few other things that will keep your money safe and stable while we get through this period of time. But some of you trade for a living and you feel the need to at least do something, even if it's not going to bring you quite as much opportunity. And so I wanted to go through some things I am going to be doing for those in my community that actually do want to trade through this dynamic. Now, it's not easy. I'll have to look for these trades set up. It's going to take a lot of time, but I have a community. I'm absolutely willing to help do that to help them through this time. Now, if you're not in my community, this video may help you do a little DIY. So we're going to go through 3 different potential dynamics and how you may consider trading within them. There's a lot of new information in this video that I've never shared with you before, so I think you'll find it very eye-opening. If we want to see where the money is going, so that we are looking for a more high probability setup with bullish tickers, here's the way to do it in TradingView. The first thing you want to do is go to markets, and then you come down here to stocks. You want to go up to sectors and industries. Once you get to sectors and industries, you want to click performance, because we're wanting to see where the money is going. What I like to do is look at the 1 week or even the 1 month chart, and you want to click it. It's going to pull all of the highest sectors from movement to the top. And so you can look through this and see where the money is going. Well, let's say that you want to get into utilities. So what you would do here is you would expand this particular sector, and then you're going to see all the ticker symbols that trade within it. Now, what I like to do, I like to then sort by market cap, because I'm really most interested in trading the tickers that have the highest market cap, because they're going to have more option volume, obviously. They're going to be a little bit safer to get into. And then what I do is I start looking at these, and I want to see if any of them are red. Now, right now, if you're looking at where it ended on Friday, all of these are green. But you want to just keep going down and look for your next opportunity on red. So here's one that's red. I could look at that one in detail to see if there's a potential trade set up. But let's go back up to the top and let's take a look at NEE. This is NextEra Energy. I've traded this one before. Let's go take a look at where it's trading and where we might want to look at a potential entry. For this portion, I want to go to something like Yahoo Finance. I like the layout and how I can see everything that I like to look at. First of all, PE ratio is important. This one is respectable at 28. And then I want to go look at the analysis tab, make sure that I'm dealing with a profitable company, and then let's look at the chart to see where it's trading technically. These will more than likely be shorter term trades, so I don't mind looking at the 1 month chart to get a better sense for what I'm dealing with. Currently on this RSI, we're definitely overbought. We're well over 70. We're almost at 80. So I'm not as interested in selling a put at this moment in time. But if this pulls back, I might be more interested. Usually when a stock is over 50 on the RSI and it's in a bullish mode, then I like to look at the middle of the band for potential entry. But if I were to try to sell the $87 strike that expires this week for a 1 week trade, there's not much premium there. So I'd want to keep this one on my watch list. I'd want to watch for it to pull back maybe somewhere around that $89 area, and then I might be interested in selling the 87 put, usually the week of. You usually can get some pretty decent premium as long as it is approaching your strike price where you wouldn't mind picking it up as long as it's in a bullish mode. Now, that trading style may be okay for you, but you might be the type of trader that you would rather stick with names you're most familiar with and you truly understand the business model and they're profitable companies. They're just going through a bearish dynamic. If that's the case, then you may want to look at what I'm about to show you and some things I will be doing to ensure that my trading is a little bit safer during this time. Now, it does require a lot more effort, like I said, but I think it's worth it. Let me take you into the computer and show you how to trade some of your stocks you're most comfortable with, and they're your favorite stocks. You would not mind owning additional shares of them as long as it's at the right price. Let's go look at selling options in a bearish dynamic. Now let's discuss stocks that you're comfortable with trading, but they are in a bearish mode. And you still want to trade them, but you want to be a lot more conservative with your trading. Now, for this level of trading that I'm going to share with you, we want to go really far out with our expirations to avoid early assignment risk. So let's look at something like Amazon. Amazon is a stock that I currently have, and I do want to add to my position when the time is right. But if you're wanting to trade options and lower your average, as long as it's a fair average, here's something to consider. First and foremost, I want to look at this weekly MACD, and I discussed this a lot in my last video. This has crossed over sharply and it's going down. So you may want to wait until this settles out and starts moving sideways. But here's a little hint of what would be a reasonable price to get Amazon at if it continues to fall. Look right here on TradingView. You can see the 52-week range. So it has gone all the way from $161 all the way up to $258. So you may be of the mind frame that if we get it at the low that it's been over the last year, then that would be what's considered a fair entry, because we've gone through a lot of drama in the market over the last year. It's had to withstand a lot of pressure. So you may not mind picking it up when you're looking at a 52-week low. So let's anchor ourselves right here to something around 160. Now we're going to go to the option chain and see how that works from a perspective of how much premium we can get. Now, if I am going to try to enter a trade that has just entered a bearish dynamic, it's a risk, so I definitely want to go further out if I'm going to try to put my money to work. So let's look at going out to December. Let's see what the option chain offers for that. If I go out to December, that's 306 days from now. Now, the intent would be one of two things. Either I would assume the shares if we get to December and it's trading at this, or if it has a correction and that MACD crosses back up, go ahead and exiting this trade early. So let's look at that 160 level. If we were going to go bottom feeding for Amazon, looking at that 52-week low. If we go with the 160 strike, that's going to offer us $8.97 a share, which isn't bad when you consider you might be getting out of this early. There's a lot of volume and open interest on this one, so you'd probably get a pretty good fill. Now, keep in mind, the lower Amazon goes, the more you will be getting for this $160 strike. The closer it gets to 160, the more you will get. It's changing by the delta. You see the delta here is only 18 cents a share. This will continue to go up and get more aggressive as we go further down. But keeping that in mind, maybe you think something's on the horizon that would turn it around sooner rather than later. So if you were to sell this option and you were to get something around that 897 area, assuming you'd be comfortable taking profit at about 25%, because remember, we're in a choppy market and it could pop green tomorrow and then turn around and go back down. So you'd want to take advantage of this when it shows signs of life. So if we went with a 25%, you would be looking at keeping about $2.42 of the $8.97. If that were to happen in 1 week's time, then what you would do to get your return percentage, you would take the $2.42, you divide it by the amount of money that it took to produce that. That would be $160 a share, and that is going to give you 0.014. Multiplied by 100, that's 1.4% return. If you did this in 1 week, that's going to give you a 72% annualized return. But if you consider 2 weeks, well, it's still a very good return. You're looking at about a 36% return if you were to get to that 25% mark in the matter of a 2-week time frame. But just realize if you are going to trade this way, yes, you may be saying you'll be glad to take Amazon at 160. Just realize what you're going to see when you look at your account. The closer you get to 160 after you sold that put, it's going to appear that you're losing money. What it's showing you is how much you could have received if you would have waited until the stock had gone down further to sell that put. And finally, let's look at stocks that are really volatile. Now, these are stocks that you might see a $10 swing in a given day on any given trading day. Now, there are some things you can do with selling options, not buying options, but selling them. And you really do have to be watching at your computer that day. But if you're looking for ways to create income, you can usually get in and out of these trades in short order. Now, you might be concerned about the day trading label with what I'm about to share with you. But if you keep more than $25,000 in your account, then that shouldn't be an issue for you. Let's go look at how we might trade options with volatile tickers. Now, let's look at stocks that are super volatile. They swing up and down throughout the trading day. This can provide a great opportunity for in and out as long as you have the time to watch it. So I'm going to look at Tesla. That's one of the stocks. I have 2 more to show you. If I wanted to look at Tesla, it definitely has a range. You can just look at the last trading day. It went all the way from 410 up to 424. Now, when you look at your chart, you want to look at a much smaller time frame. So I'm going to look at the 1-day chart. If you are going to trade the daily, meaning you're going to sell the option and get out of the option in the same day, then you want to look at a much shorter time frame on your MACDs for entries and exits. I went ahead and went with the 1-day time frame. And you can see right here, it crossed over in the morning and it rode up for a little while and then it crossed back over and then crossed back up. So if you're going to try to sell put options, then what you would want to do is at the immediate cross, you would want to go ahead and sell your option that expires in the closest expiration date, either a few days from now or at the end of the week. And then when you see it get ready to cross back over, back down, you would want to go ahead and exit that position and lock in that gain. Now, if you see movement throughout the day, up and down, you could do this a couple of times a day and be able to hold on to a pretty nice amount of premium. You do want to be careful, though, if you see a sharp decline once it crosses over. You definitely want to get out as soon as possible because you don't want to end up writing that down for the remainder of the day and then be stuck in it for several days on end. Here's another very volatile ticker, but it is in a sector that is running right now. It's part of their rotation. So you can see here on Friday alone, this went from 131 all the way up to 144. So there's a lot of trading opportunities throughout the day on a ticker like this. Let's look at the 1-day chart, looking at the MACD to get a better sense for entries and exits. If you were trading this, you could have sold an option right here when it crossed over the MACD. Then you would have enjoyed getting most of the premium out of that trade. And then as it crossed back over that same day, you would exit your sold put so you don't have to suffer through the drawdown. Like I said, you could do this several times a day on a volatile stock. Let's look at one more. Here's Palantir. Now, when you're looking at the weekly time frame, it has crossed under the MACD. So this is not a time to do longer term trades unless you go super low. If you're going to go with the earlier dynamic I shared with you, you'd want to go really low. This 52-week low is 66. But what if you wanted to trade it during the day? Looking at the daily MACD, you see right here at 1824 would be your entry when you sold that put. Then you'd allow it to continue to go up, and then you'd want to take your exit probably a little bit over 30 minutes later when you saw it cross back down. I hope that gives you a few ideas so that you can too be in search of some potential opportunity in this market chop. Hey, I want you to look at my Instagram page. I'm starting to add content on a regular basis. I would love for you to follow me. I'm going to leave it in the description. Remember, if you're with me, Trading with Ashley, there's no trader left behind. Now, the repair kit that I put together for SoFi and other stocks like it, I'm going to leave that video for you right here.